So Abracadani chose not to switch here. Replaced a bunch of cards to try and get a playable card. We'll see if they choose to go with Natural Selection or Vindicator here. Vindicator gets whipped, so...
Yeah, Abra doesn't have many things they can play on turn 1. So keeping a Natural Selection makes a lot of sense. It's like, I can at least spend my mana. It's really important to note this Flash Elder in Abra's hand. So this is a really good way for Magmar to beat creep. If you can flash out an Elder, there's not that much Abyssine can do about it, and you get a swarm of Elders quickly enough that the creep game plan just isn't really in time. So I think that Abra is sort of really wise to replace for that, look for that, and I'm expecting them to play that next turn and try and ride that to victory. That's a very good idea.
Yeah, Elder becomes pretty bad once they've cast their first Shadow Nova, because then the next one deals 8 damage and kills it, and deals with the egg, and that leaves your Elder stranded permanently, just constantly dying over and over in its own personal hell to the creep. But if you get it down early, it can absolutely take over a game, and it doesn't matter how good their late game is if you're hitting them with an 8 attack minion on 5 mana. You see a double Blood Tear? Blood Tear and Night Star. Okay, it's pretty good.
I mean, Jay had a lot of things. I mean, Shroud would have also worked, but yeah. All right. I mean, it's time to. I think Abra's probably going to play this the safest place they can. Try their best to make sure that the egg doesn't get cleared, and hope that's enough.
Yeah, Jay's just used a couple of the tools for dealing with the eggs. So we'll see if they have any spares rattling around in the hand, because if not, maybe the Siltar Elder just wins the game for Abra.
Absolutely. I mean, they do have 2 Shrouds, but then you have to deal with the egg. And like you said, Blood Tear and Night Star just spent.
Yeah, I've definitely had games where, I spend turn after turn and I'm dealing with the egg, but I'm not dealing with the main Elder itself, and eventually you just run out of things to deal with the egg, and the egg spawns and hatches, and then if you couldn't deal with one, you can't deal with 2. So it gets you. Let's see what he's got.
Yeah, usually the approach when you're buying time against an Elder is to just kill the egg. Especially against Abra's deck that is playing egg morphs to hatch those, get rush, and that can really change sort of the calculus of the whole thing.
So yeah, I'm going to see the egg die, but the Elder itself is still healthy.
Wow, so Jay is... so now Jay has changed gears, right? Jay is saying, I'm probably not going to be able to really deal with this Elder completely at any point, and even if I do, it probably gives my opponent enough time to just play another Elder or something. So Jay is now trying to push a lot of face damage so that he doesn't need to play that many 7-drops to win the game, right? If the second Revenant or the second Nova just is lethal, then that's a good way to deal with Elder. But the side is that Abra also wants to be pushing face damage, because of course Abra knows that if you give the creep deck infinite time, it is gonna win. So it's a really interesting situation where both decks are incentivized to be the aggressor. It's pretty uncommon to have those kinds of situations.
Yeah, and Abra knows that he has this Emerald Junior he just played, and then 6 more points of healing in hand. And it's going to be tough for Jay to outrace this 8 attack. Whipping it away, though.
Yeah, Jay doesn't... He's going to have a really hard time dealing with all this stuff. I mean, also, he's been through 2 Night Stars, so not clear that he's going to be able to deal with this Vindicator. And if you leave the Vindicator on board, that's really bad, because... okay, yeah, so he lures it into the existing minions. That makes a lot of sense. So Jay has done a good job of mitigating this. playing into Mechanitor for no clear reason. And now it's just a question of, can he find the 7-drops and win the game with those before the Elder, starts taking over again.
Yeah, if Abra just plays another Elder here, like how likely is he to die next turn? Maybe you just play the Archon to be safe.
Yeah, so I don't think Abra can die next turn, right? And the most Jay can do, well, I mean, I guess there could be something like, double Spectral Blade, triple Void Pulse for 10 out of hand. But realistically, you're looking at 6 out of hand with Revenant. So Abra is perfectly safe here.
Yeah, and that is what he goes for. And draws an Egmorph, which is probably he's happy to see that. Now Jay's got a lot to deal with.
Yeah, and one other pretty unfortunate side effect of this Primus Fist positioning is that ideally Jay would like to juxtaposition his General and his Primus Fist, right? Because he wants the Primus Fist to clear the egg, and he wants the General to run away from the Elder. But he can't do that because of that specific positioning, and he's sort of like self-body blocked himself.
This hit here actually just killed him, funnily enough.
Yeah, I mean, I understand why he did it, because, in hand, maybe he has second Revenant Void Pulse. That's a really critical threshold, but it took the risk, and Abra had it. So, well played, Abra. Identified a key path to victory against the creep deck, and did a great job.